So, the ghost in the castle. A long time ago, in a place that was there and maybe still is, there was a village, and above the village stood a castle. A big castle, a grand castle, the kind of castle where you might expect to see the hustle and bustle of life, to hear laughter and music, arguments and tears, a place where babies should be born and people should die. But this castle had none of those sights and sounds. No one was born, no one died, no one argued, no one cried, no one played music. The castle was silent. The castle was empty. Its walls were crumbling and the grounds were overgrown. The villagers who lived below gave it a wide berth. They never went close. Why? Why? Why was such a magnificent building such a place of doom? Well, you see, when the sun came down and the moon went up, the castle revealed its secret. Some called it wailing, some called it caterwauling, some said it was a piercing scream. But each night, from the castle tower came a noise so terrifying it could make your ears bleed. Something like that. Now, the owner of the castle, a lord or a baron or an earl, whoever, the kind of person that lives in a castle, wanted his home back, but he couldn't live in a place where the walls screamed. So, the lord, or baron, or earl, decided to offer a reward. Anyone who could rid the castle of the ghost would win 1,000 gold pieces and the eternal gratitude of all the people in the village. Of course, a reward of such magnitude attracted people from far and wide. Brave soldiers and foolhardy fools, all of whom thought they could defeat the ghost and win the prize. Each proudly declared that they could spend a night in the castle and capture the ghost. The first person who went along to try to win the money was a soldier, a veteran of many battles, considered to be one of the bravest soldiers of his time, but now down on his luck. He went up to the castle one warm, moonlit night. He set up a chair and he waited. Surely there was a logical explanation for the strange sounds. Surely it was just the wind, or a
person.
Some kind of person trying to scare people away from the castle. He sat on the chair and waited. Who was scared of a scream? Not a big, brave soldier like him. He waited and waited, imagining how he would spend his gold and holding the sword that his father had given him, just in case. After 3 hours in the dark, he began to feel cold. He pulled his jacket tighter around him and his hat further down on his head, but the cold would not go away. From the chimney, he heard a rustling. Just a bird, he told himself, a magpie caught in the hearth. The soldier was getting a little frightened. He gripped his sword a little bit more tightly and watched the fireplace. Then came the scream. Help me! I'm falling! The soldier ran so fast back to the village. It was only when he got there he'd realised he'd left his sword behind. As valuable as it was, he would never go back to get it. Next came a young farmhand, big and strong, not afraid of a ghost. He went up to the castle on one warm, moonlit night. He set up a chair and waited. Surely there was a logical explanation. Surely it was
A person?
or
A cat?
The wind.
Who was scared of a scream? There'd be an explanation for the strange sound. He sat and waited, imagining how he'd spend his 1,000 pieces of gold. After 3 hours in the dark, he began to feel cold. He pulled his jacket tighter around him and his hat further down his head, but the cold would not go away. From the chimney, he heard a rustling. Just a bird, he told himself, a magpie caught in the hearth. But the young farmhand was frightened. He held his trusty walking stick, the one his father had given him, and watched the fireplace. Then came the scream. Help me! I'm falling! He gripped the stick tighter, but stayed where he was, determined to solve the mystery and claim the reward. From the chimney came more rustling. Help me! I'm falling! And then something had fallen into the fireplace. He looked through this darkness and saw a leg, severed at the knee, blood oozing out of it. The farmhand ran so fast back to the village that it was only when he got there he realised he'd left his stick behind. As sentimental as it was, he would never go back to claim it. Next came a young prince, as handsome as he was foolish. He went up to the castle one warm moonlit night. He set up a chair and waited. Surely there was a logical explanation for the same strange sounds. Surely it was just
A person?
or a
Cat.
or
The wind.
He wasn't going to be scared of a scream. He sat and waited, imagining how he would spend his gold. After 3 hours in the dark, he began to feel cold. He pulled his jacket tighter around him and his hat further down his head. But the cold would not go away. From the chimney, he heard a rustling. Just a bird, he told himself, a magpie caught in the hearth. The prince was frightened. He held his trusty dagger, the one his father had given him, and watched the fireplace. Then came the scream.
Help me, I'm falling.
He gripped the dagger tighter, but stayed where he was, determined to solve the mystery and claim the reward. From the chimney came more rustling, and then the scream again.
Help me, I'm falling.
And then
Ah!
something fell into the fireplace. He looked through the darkness and saw a leg, severed at the knee, blood oozing out of it. It's just a leg, he said. He gripped the dagger tighter, still determined to solve the mystery and claim the reward. Then came another rustling, another scream.
Help me,
Help
I'm
me, I'm
falling.
falling.
It's just a leg, he said. He gripped his dagger tighter, still determined to solve the mystery and claim the reward. Then came another rustling, another scream,
Help
me, I'm falling.
and another thud.
Ah!
An arm, severed at the shoulder, fell into the earth, blood gushing from it. The prince ran so fast to the village that it was only when he arrived that he realised he'd left his dagger behind. Precious as it was, he would never go back to claim it. Others went to the castle. Others sat in the darkness, and others came running back to the village in fright. Until one day, a young maid arrived. She wanted to see what all the fuss was about. She'd worked in many big castles, even haunted ones, but she was always let go by the king or the lord or the baron who owned the castle. People said she had a bit of the other about her. I'll save you from your ghost, she said. The villagers laughed at her, for she was as small as she was young. Just give me a side of bacon, a dozen eggs, and a frying pan, and I'll see you in the morning. The villagers didn't want to let her go to the castle, but they did want to be rid of the ghost. So they gave her what she asked for, and on a moonlit night she headed up to the castle. When she got there, she saw the sword and the stick and the dagger. She laughed at those foolish men. Then she set about her work, for she was hungry. She lit a fire in the hearth and started frying bacon and eggs. Just as the bacon was crispy, she heard a rustling and the scream.
Help
Help me, I'm falling.
Fall, she said, but don't land in my bacon. Then
Ah!
the leg fell down the chimney. The girl smiled and ate her bacon and eggs. Still hungry, she put more bacon in the pan and cracked another egg. Just as the bacon was getting crispy, she heard the rustling again and the scream.
Help me, I'm falling.
Fall, she said, but don't land in my bacon.
Ah,
The arm came down the chimney. The girl smiled and ate again. This happened again and again. Another leg, another arm, then a body. Finally, as she was frying her last piece of bacon, the scream came again.
help me, I'm falling.
A head dropped into the hearth with a heavy thump. The girl calmly chewed her food and she watched as the body put itself back together. Are you here to help me? Cried the ghost. It screamed so loud that the villagers below prayed for the girl's safety. What do I get in return? She asked. Your fortune, said the ghost. Then I'm here to help. The ghost led the girl out of the castle and into the grounds. He explained that he'd been a thief when he was alive and he'd stolen from the people in the castle. And they caught him and chopped him into pieces. But before they caught him, he buried his treasure in the castle grounds. They reached the spot. Dig, he said. You dig, said the girl. So the ghost dug and dug until he hit a chest of gold. Please, give half to the poor and keep the rest for yourself, said the ghost. Do you promise? The girl nodded, and with that, the ghost vanished. The next morning, the villagers gathered their courage and went up to the castle, expecting to find the girl dead with fright. Instead, they found her sleeping soundly by the fire and the smell of bacon and eggs in the air. She told them that the ghost was gone, but she said nothing about the gold. So grateful was the lord, or baron, or earl, or whoever lived in the castle, that he gave her the promised reward and asked her to marry him. No, she said. Who would want to marry a crusty old lord when she already had untold riches? So she took her treasure back to the village, gave half to the poor, just in case the ghost was watching, and lived happily ever.